Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke. My pronouns are she and her.
I'm Maddie Mills. My pronouns are he and him. And before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for me, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Let's get into it.
How's your weekend?
Yes. Friday night. Oh my God. Friday night was my Howard Fine and Dine night, which is where all of our alumni, cohort, staff, students, other actors get together and we just have a little pizza night and drinks.
Yep.
But I performed in front of my class.
What did you do?
In front of like 100 people.
Act or sing?
I sang and it was open mic night and everyone was performing or doing like an open mic, either stand-up comedy, poetry or performance, so singing or piano or whatever. Anyways, it kind of was like getting to a point where everyone was just like, dude, Brooke, put your name down. And then I just started got a little bit sentimental. You know, like what I've learnt through this course is that the power of voice and owning your truth and being in your truth and, you know, being in your voice is really important. And I've learned that so much of that comes from healing your inner child. And I just can't believe I'm actually getting up here and performing because I've never performed before. And this is going to be so healing. And I could not tell you the euphoric feeling of my younger Brooke, like the younger Brooke in her, like I have never experienced that much joy in my life. Like I'm getting goosebumps now because I could hear a pin drop in the sense like, everyone was like, oh my God, we're so excited to hear. But then everyone was singing. Like, I know it probably seems so small, but for me, like that was a huge moment in my life because if I can't perform in front of like my cohort of acting students, I can't perform on a national, global level. Like I'm not ready. So I was like, well, this is my chance to like do it. And if it's just so small of like playing one song, like Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis Presley. And
I knew it was that song.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I posted it.
Yeah.
Did you not see my video?
I did. Yes. Yes.
And everyone was like, I'm getting messages now from people that were there and they're like, you had the whole room.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
And I'm not like talking myself up. I'm not going to be like, I was a big shot. Look at me. It was like, I've got a natural talent in holding a space or holding a room like that. Yeah. And I didn't realize it until I watched those videos back where the room is silent. There is not a thing. And then all of a sudden, everyone is singing with me.
Wow.
Doesn't that isn't that crazy?
It's
Sorry,
beautiful.
It's like insane. Like I'm just
also,
like, what?
The alignment of the song, I Can't Help Falling in Love, like if that isn't you to a T,
I know.
Like you could have chose a more perfect song.
Well, I dedicated it to my dad, but in my head I was like, can't help but forgetting you.
Oh my gosh. Well,
but it was funny.
Beautiful.
It was funny. Yeah, it was such a great great experience. It was crazy. So that was my weekend, just living in that euphoricness of my first time performance in front of anyone. I'm a big shot now. Look at me go.
Go on.
How was your weekend anyways?
My weekend was good. I spent the week catching up with friends. I have been pretty much like isolating myself, not really isolating myself, but keeping to myself, keeping my head down and just focusing on work lately. But this weekend I went and caught up with some friends. Saturday morning I caught up with Jess Malboy, and we had brunch, and then we went to a queer exhibition together, which was called Qtopia, and it's in Surrey Hills. So we went and learnt a lot actually. We were like immersed in queer culture and history, and also the dark side of, you know, the challenges and police brutality. And it was beautiful. We spent the morning like at this exhibition. It's called Qtopia. It's in the old police station at Taylor Square in Surrey Hills. So it is about reclaiming.
That's triggering.
It is, and it's within the cell blocks.
Yeah.
It's like reclaiming that space of where a lot of trauma happened for queer people and people who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community. So that was like a really beautiful morning. So like inspiring to hear stories of friends, even your story just now. Like there's so many incredible things that Mob are doing.
I know.
You know, like,
celebration.
and I get to like just connect with you, Mob, and I'm doing, you know, an incredible project at the moment myself. So I'm feeling very motivated, very inspired, also just light. You know, I've obviously like haven't been drinking or going out, and, you know, I'm feeling like the benefits of that starting to pay off.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So
yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like super
good.
excited. I also feel like I'm at a point in my life now where I'm so far from my past in terms of like my past relationship and the experiences that I was having like last year that I feel like a brand new person.
Amazing.
I don't know. I wanted to ask you were going to share a story about an ex coming back into your life.
Exes, actually.
Okay.
There's been, it's been such a weird, because this is how fast my life happens. You know, when I'm just like so focused on like work and things, I find that like, it's funny, like I can't be penetrated. Not that way. Like, no, like.
Okay, we're going down that.
No,
that
like
road, are we?
I have my box around me, and my walls cannot be infiltrated.
Everything sounds like a
I
sexual innuendo.
I know,
You're talking about penetration, boxes, and walls.
Penetration, infiltrated,
Girl.
violation. No, I mean, like I can't be interrupted. Maybe that's the word.
Okay.
I feel like because I've been in such a zone of school work, project basis, you know, my dating life has really kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because like this sort of new establishment is what I would call it, is just like, you know, it's like taking day by day. We've gone on like 5 dates. It's super casual. It's super chill. There's not really anything coming up
Until
yet.
when?
Well, no. Like this is the thing.
Are
like,
you sure?
No, swear. Like I'm not. I get so angry when you do that.
Well, the reason I'm doing it is because I've heard that so many times.
But all of my things are casual. You know
it
that.
starts casual, but then it moves from casual to serious really quickly.
On my end, not their end.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. On your end. So I'm like,
when have mine ever been serious? Like, seriously.
well, you've convinced me every single one of them is serious. I'm telling you the truth.
You shouldn't believe me then.
You've convinced me because...
Gaslight you into me. But
You
you shouldn't
gaslight
believe
me
me
into
then. You shouldn't believe me.
I just love that I'm on this roller coaster with you. That's why I'm like...
I am a roller coaster. Maybe get on.
Yeah, I'm here with it. I'm here and I'm on it and I love the stories.
But I share everything with you, solely you as well. Like
and
no,
the world of the listeners.
Well, no friend gets this insight as well. Like I'm not. My friends don't even know that I'm seeing anyone because I haven't told them. I'm telling the podcast because you guys are like my family.
Yes.
You shouldn't judge me then, motherfuckers.
There is no judgment. That is what I was saying.
Yeah, fuck you.
There is no judgment, but
I don't know. That sounds like judgment.
No judgment, I promise. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to predict that in a couple of days.
Friend. I know. I hate that I'm that friend that's like
predictable.
Predictable. Literally, I hate that I'm that bitch, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be her anymore. I'm done.
Well,
I'm fucking done.
Okay,
I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
Your next T-shirt should say, "Just keep it casual." Just keep it casual.
Or like, just forbidden. Fuck off.
That's your next book, sis. Just keep it casual.
Actual. And I think every one you meet is the one because it teaches you one thing or something. So I think every person that you meet, everyone is the one because they either teach you how to be loved, they either teach you something about yourself, they teach you what you don't want. So I'm just out here just doing research, bub.
Girl,
just doing research.
I back this strategy. I back it 100%. You know why? Because I think you're absolutely spot on when it comes to learning things from different people. And now you have a plethora of experience. I'm fucking one man stand over here, and all I've learned is a little bit.
I'm doing it for the plot, sis.
Yeah, you are.
I'm doing it for the plot.
You know what? Oh my God. And you know, this story is cliffhanger after cliffhanger and I'm fucking here. I'm here every time. I'm like, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? And then the ad break comes and you're like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, next. I did a whole big therapy session this morning on friendships I realised that I don't have friends that literally will tell me how it is. I thought I did. But
I'm getting there. But
fucking tell me. Fucking be honest with me and say, it ain't it, sis.
girl, I just fucking tried, and then all I said was, and until when, and then you were like, So do you think that your friends want to tell you the absolute truth?
Fucking no, kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not. I'm fucking reasonable as shit.
You are. I agree with you. I know you, and I know, I feel like I know your heart to an extent, that you will see the good in someone, and then you will automatically move from casual to looking at a long-term plan. And then when you make that shift focus, you fall really, really hard, really fast, really quickly.
Yeah, but then I fall out of it very quickly.
Exactly. So
I know this is what it's called. Yeah, it's a cycle. It's a pattern that I'm repeating.
Zoom was a roller coaster. Zoom.
I don't think it's a roller coaster. I think it's like it's
for
like
your emotions, it might be.
Well, no, it is. I'm a very highly emotional person. You know this.
Yeah.
But and then when I reflect and I look back on all those relationships and my exes, and I'm like, God, girl, it wasn't it. What were you thinking? But I just wish my friends told me sooner. Like, it ain't it.
But then I feel like if your
I've got to
friends
figure it out myself. I know.
If your friends told you sooner, it would feel like they were shutting down any opportunity of love.
Yeah, I get that. But then it's
know?
you would prevent me from getting hurt a lot more quicker and faster.
Mm.
You know, like...
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes, you get your rose-coloured glasses on.
Yeah.
But I also am so hopeful with them. Like, no, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt and I'll work on it and blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Do you think that you just haven't met anyone that is worth the fight?
100%. This is what I'm figuring out.
Yeah.
They won't fight for me for the way that I would fight for them. And also, I haven't met someone who has the whole package.
Yes.
That just fucking lights me up. That's boom.
What are some things that would inspire you, or what is the perfect
someone
man?
Who motivates
the perfect
me.
person.
Like, they're doing so good that I want to do good with them. Like, it's always me that's inspiring to them. Like, when someone's like, oh, you're so inspiring, I'm like, ick.
Oh, really?
Ick. I want someone who just, I don't know, wants to walk the same path as me, and it's an equal worship, if anything.
Yeah, okay.
I just feel like I either get really worshipped and I get put on this pedestal where it gives me the ick, because it's like, then I have to sort of feel like I'm living up to that. So I can't rot. What if I want to rot in bed one day? Does that mean I'm unmotivated?
You know what? Do you ever disclose that in the beginning when someone says that to you? Like, you're so inspiring. Do you ever say, well, you're going to figure out that, you know what, I'm just normal.
I'm just human. Yeah. I am so human and I'm normal. And and I think that's let's talk about men in per se, because obviously there's two different relationships that I experience. With men, I don't know why I go to the fix it, I need my mummy insecure men.
Okay.
And then with women, I go probably the same. But but it's like I then have to adhere to a more masculine, providing role with a woman. And then when I'm with a man, it's hard to let that go. But then I try to be my feminine era, but I don't feel like I can be. When I'm in my feminine era, that's when I'm in love and I'm happy and I'm creative and I'm
Who have you had
enjoying
that with?
and I'm enjoying.
Give me an example. Was it the blonde guy, the tall blonde guy? And we went together.
He's a chef.
Yeah,
right?
He was really hot.
Why didn't you? This is the second time you brought him up. Yeah, he's still in my life, but he's my friend.
There was something about you in that relationship that I saw that was like you were in your feminine era.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw each other for 4 weeks straight every single day.
Yep.
And I didn't get the ick until he dropped those 2 words.
But do you think that's too quick of a
100%. Something needs to happen with me where it's okay, I can see a lifetime, long-term thing. Something needs to...
You couldn't see a long-term thing with him?
No.
No, okay, sweet.
But then I my last ex, because there was such a bond and a connection, the sex is amazing. So it's all a physicality thing. It's just all needs to work together in symbiosis, but it just doesn't for me. And yes, that's probably why I fucking filter through them, because I'm I can't see a lifelong thing with them. They don't spark a thing with me. Okay, next. All right.
Do you
want to
know something really interesting?
What?
when I first met Denny, I didn't actually see a long-term relationship as a thing with him. I thought that it was going to be a few months of dating. I found him extremely attractive. I didn't really even contemplate having a future with him. It actually took getting to know and like having some real big issues in our relationship and seeing where he put his focus to move that dial. Because in the beginning, it was very much like a party boyfriend. It was like going out on the weekend, partying. And then we broke up for like 3 months. And that actual separation was like a really good thing for us in our relationship timeline, because it was like when we got back together, we had conversations about like the long term, and I could see that he wanted the same things that I wanted. So it's like about having conversations, initial conversations of like, what does your future look like? What is it that you want? Do you have those conversations, or is it that something that you just hope to discover?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, it's happened for different people.
Yeah.
I just find like if you're fighting over small things within those like couple of weeks or whatever, it's a huge red flag for me. I'm like, nah. Like even if the passion is there, it's like, nah, too much.
Is it too comfortable too quickly?
There's some previous relationships where I have moved too quickly, and there's some relationships that I've moved very slowly, but none of it. That's the thing. There's no right or wrong way of dating.
Totally.
Like, that's what I mean. That's why I get so frustrated, I guess, when you're like, oh, like next. I'm like, but I've given it a spectrum of like ways.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I don't mean it as in like,
the
next one. What I mean is like, I think that you've had a lot of experience dating. What are the common denominators within the relationships that you've had? No, not you. Like, I'm talking about the experiences or the red flags or the things that come up each time that you need to see as something that you sort of like dodge or get rid of in that person. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not the same thing every time. No. It's a different reason for each different thing. But those things matter to me. So it needs to be like a whole package for me. Yeah. So like, I don't want to take care of someone. I don't want to be someone's mummy. That's one thing that I've noticed across a few people. It's like, no, I don't do that.
Yep.
Or it's a matter of like language and respect, like using those types of derogatory words. You're not educated. Education for me is a big thing, but fucking go and educate yourself. So education is a big thing for me. Respect is a big thing for me. I guess financial, like not having to worry about someone. Yeah, exactly. Like that's a big fucking thing for me.
Totally.
But I've just not met that in someone. Like where it's like, they tick
a few. Hiding?
I know they tick a few boxes, but they don't tick all of mine, and that's obviously what it's got to. And I'm like, okay, I move past it quickly in a sense to figure it out if I can get over that, and that can be built and that can be worked on or can be fixed. But it's like it's not up to fucking me to do that.
Yeah,
I'm just like conflicted.
Yeah.
A little bit, because it's like, yes, I want this relationship, or like I have this idea of like what I would like it to be, and I'm not living in fairyland. I'm being realistic. Like this is kind of what I want as a relationship. But then the other part of me is like, but I'm also like really fucking content with being by myself and getting what I need to get done and like moving towards that. And I think the more time I spend by myself, the more I'm moving away from that. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, because I don't want to be alone. Like, I want to end up with a beautiful partner who wants to build a life together, because my brothers and sister-in-laws are all having children and families. Like, I don't want to miss out on that. So then I'm like, okay, no, I still need to put myself out there. So then I lean towards that. And then I'm like, oh, well, I get my heart broken and I give my all to something and it didn't work. So then I'm like, okay, fuck, back to this. So it is a scale constantly that I'm getting pulled and pushed from. Yeah. And I've realized that, and like I'm doing all the right things. I'm in therapy. I'm learning about how I do relationships. I'm experimenting. I'm learning. I'm being open. I'm trying to stay open. But the more I put myself out there, and the more I get burnt, or the more I get used and abused, it's like, my worth at some points is really high, and then these moments happen and it becomes really low. And right now I feel like my worth is up here, so I know what I deserve, and I'm on my like little high horse, if you want to call it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm now like in this moment, I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to let someone in. And then I do, and then it just, it's a cycle that I'm just like not haven't nailed yet.
have you got any good friends who you see all the qualities in, but there's no romantic spark there with? Because I see that some people when they find their person, they say, oh, we were friends for a long time before. Okay.
See, I've done that.
See, I've always
I've
found...
ticked all these boxes. I can tell you now. If you name it, I've done it.
Yep.
One thing I fucking know, though, like, is that regardless of what the relationship has turned out to be like, I've always made sure that I'm respectful. It's a mutual thing, or it's like a discussion. You know, I try not to end it in a toxic way. And so I've been, remained friends with most of my exes. And I don't even know if that also plays into it as well. It's like, okay, because I'm friends with my exes, does that mean I'm still, like the string theory? Like I'm still attached to all these strings. So that's why I'm not being able to like move on to have my own string attached. You know what I mean? Like if you've got all these threads and you're connected to all these people that you've once had romantic or emotional attachment to, are you allowing yourself to then be able to move on with someone else?
I fucking want the best for you. I want you to find like a miracle man or a woman who just sweeps you off your feet and fucking gives you everything that you need.
Where are they though? Like this is the thing.
I don't know. I'm
See,
sad.
Everyone feels sad for me. Don't feel sad for me. I'm just like, I'm fucking trying. It just seems like I'm a little bit fucking doomed in this sense. Like there are younger people that have, like my friend's brother has just like bought a house. He's 23. He bought a house and he's been with his girlfriend for about, I don't know, a year.
Yeah.
And they just move in together and they're just doing life. And I'm like, they're 23. How the fuck do they have that figured out? And what's wrong with me?
Nothing is wrong with you. Different experience, different,
I know, but it's like, is it my trauma? Is it because I was the bachelorette? Like, is it people like me for what I am rather than who I am? It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I can. Like, I'm fucking in therapy. I'm figuring it out. I don't have daddy issues. Like, I have a beautiful dad. I have beautiful relationships with mothers that I don't feel like it interrupts my daily living. It's just like, I don't know. I'm exhausted.
You know how you're doing your singles soiree?
Sober single soiree, yes.
Sober single soiree.
On Wednesday night, if you guys want to come, if you're bisexual and lesbian. No, kidding.
Yeah, I mean, shout it out. But are you at those events with one eye open, like, knocking on the door?
I'm working. I know. Okay. This is a thing.
Maybe you should be on the other side.
Yeah, maybe I'm done with males. I need to go back to females. But then again, like, I don't know. 3 of my exes have all messaged in the last month or so.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden goes, yeah, like, I love you and I'll always love you, and tells me that he loves me. And I'm like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
This is a goodbye call.
Yeah.
And then another ex is and reads, he's like, oh, I read your book and I thought it was wonderful. Thank you so much for talking about our relationship so friendly, blah, 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 blah. Just know that I'll always love you. Second one. Then another one reaches out and it's like, oh, I'm really sorry and I regret how we ended things. Not I love you, but why?
Closure?
I think there's a sign in this and it's like, see you later.
Yeah.
Bye. Goodbye. Closed off. Fuck off.
Maybe
I'm doing my thing.
Cutting those strings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Surely there is something in that.
Yeah.
But none of these guys have fought for me.
How do you test someone in that way, like to see if they will?
I don't know, and I don't even want to fucking try it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of just walking away and just being like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I have to say, this relationship that I'm in is the healthiest relationship that I've ever been in. Like, honestly, it's to the point where we're very open about having conversations about basically anything and resolving something before the end of the day. Like this, I said to him the other day, I sent him a message and I said, hey, I just want to say, I was at the gym. We just left the cafe. I went to the gym. He went home and I sent him a message. I said, hey, babe, I just want to say it's so beautiful how we can talk so openly about like our issues in our relationship. And I want to say that like I'm so happy our relationship is so healthy in this way. And like we communicate so openly about that stuff. And I think that we've both had very different experiences in the past to what we're experiencing now. So we're trialing all the new things. And like even to the point where
Isn't
like...
it growth though?
It's growth. It's absolute growth.
It's growth.
And it really is just a beautiful thing to experience because I don't have any pressure. I don't feel any pressure in this relationship to be anything or to try and make it like amazing or it's just, it is what it is. But also we had a funny conversation yesterday about never talking about breaking up. You know how sometimes it's like you have stupid conversations around.
Like, what if we broke up?
Yeah, what
would
if
you
we
do?
broke up?
Yeah.
Or doing hypotheticals about like,
What if I was a worm? Would you still love me?
Still love me. And even though it's cute, I'm like, let's not like bring that energy into our relationship of always questioning our love for each other.
Yeah.
It's here. I'm showing you, you know, like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
I'm
that thing is like, oh, you do that. Stop. Why do you hate me?
Yeah.
Why do you hate me? I do that a lot. And
Yeah.
on that actually though, and it's like so beautiful to hear that all the work that you do is showing in your relationship, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm doing all this work, but I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. Like I've completely kind of forgotten.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I've just been doing things by myself and doing the work. Like I don't know if my work is going to be worth it at some points. I question whether I've done enough work. But I have. I know that I have, but I doubt myself because it's like, well, I don't know until it's going to be happening.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to that point.
So the person that you're seeing now, keeping it casual, but what are the feelings you have towards them?
Like similar to you and Danny, I guess, in a sense where it's very open and it's very open line communication.
Yep.
There's a lot of green flags. Like I'm testing the waters very quickly. Like I'm like saying things like, okay, good answer.
Yeah.
You know, like and I shouldn't do that. I should just let it happen. But I'm just like, I don't want to waste my time. And I think I need to get that out of my brain. So I feel that there's a lot of green flags. They're very open. He's a very open communicator, which is good.
I mean, just take it day by day. Like when you start feeling the pressure.
I know, but you say this all the time. I say this all the time.
Yeah, when you start feeling the pressure, don't feel like you need to escape.
That's my thing though as well.
Welcome the challenge.
Well, I run away.
But you have to think, okay, when you get through something like that, the pressure or the challenge, you have to see how they react to it as well. If they're comforting and if it's a safe place for you to show that side of yourself and for them to comfort you in it, and you get to the other side, that's like a building block. That's a brick. When you come up against those challenges again, all that pressure, it's a mental block for you. But if you can get past it with someone, figure you'll navigate through it with them, that will create a stronger foundation. Like that's how I saw my challenges with Danny. Like even in the beginning, I remember I said to him, one time I said to him, well, you're gone tomorrow. Like I literally said, well, you're gone tomorrow. Like how rude. He took that as like obviously fucking rude, but he was like, okay, he's in his moment. He's having this reaction to something. The next morning we had another conversation. I apologized and it was like a building block of me going, oh, he's not going to just react to my rudeness or like immaturity. He's going to like take a moment, wait for me to apologize and then have a proper conversation. That built like such a strong like start to our relationship.
So that was a test in your behalf, but it worked because it
showed
it worked. You. Yeah, I guess that's also that's kind of what I tried to do is, test the waters, I guess. And I shouldn't do it all the time, but it
Not
helps
all the time.
because it's like, well, I'm either learning how you deal with things, how you respond, and how you're willing to work through them. And that's the whole thing. A relationship isn't about sometimes the love itself. It's about how you figure out and work things through.
And figure out if they have respect for you. And not superficial respect, actual respect. Because respect will allow them to take care of you and to make good decisions based on like how they feel towards you. If they don't respect you and if they just say they do and the actions aren't there, you're going to figure out pretty quickly that they're going to have some moves that are going to be easy for you to disregard and leave. But I also think that I am not the best person to give advice on this. I'm such like a one-track minded person when it comes to relationships, and I feel like I've been in a relationship, hardly ever dated, and then I'm in another relationship. So I'm not the best person, but I feel like our listeners, I feel like they will have some either advice or
fucking give me any advice. Like
we should put a call out to them about, just about relationships in general, and if they're loyal listeners, maybe they have some advice that they've heard some things over the time of the pod that maybe they'll be able to help out.
Yeah, maybe they've listened to me fucking go on about this for months and months and months and months that they're like, I'm sick of hearing this shit, Brooke. This is what you need, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, well, let's open it up to the floor. We're
Can you
going to put a
guys,
little
please?
post on our Instagram. But if you have any, also, I want to know some juicy dilemmas. Like, do you have any relationship dilemmas that have unfolded in your life that you want to share with us that maybe has come to a great resolution?
Ask us first.
Ask us first. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear from them?
I think I want to know if there's any other women, particularly that are in similar situations with me, with having some difficulty around finding their person or relationships.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know, like, what their journey has been like and what their experiences have been like, whether they've had similar to me where they've gone all in and it's not worked out, or they've half-assed done something and then it happens to be like a good person and then they end up with them. Like, I want to know also, like, I guess some hopeful stories that give me a little bit of hope, because I feel like I need that right now.
I love this. Well, I also just had like a light bulb moment. Why don't you and I create a TV show called Marry the Mob? And it's for it's for single people to black fellas to find their match. Let's
Maybe.
pitch it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for listening to First Things First. If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a review.
And if you want us to cover anything on the pod, reach out via our socials. Brooke's handle is @Brooke.Blurton. Mine is @It'sMaddieMills. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.